Every now and then when I see her face, she takes me away to that special place. And if I stare too long, I'll probably break down and cry. Oh, 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 sweet child of mine. Hey, y'all get out of here. I'm trying to take a shower. Welcome to RidgeLife. I'm Tim, and today we are back at the log home build site, and we have got some utilities to take care of. We're talking hot water. As you know, with a log home, there's very little space inside that you can waste for things like air handlers and air conditioning units. So we have placed all of our utilities on the outside of the log home. That way we can utilize all 1,500 square foot, heated square foot for family living space. One item that takes up so much space in your home is your water heater. Water heaters can be 30, 40, 50, 70 gallons, and those things are huge and they take up so much space. And you gotta run utilities inside your house. So what we've done is gone with this A.O. Smith Tankless water heater. It is smaller, as you can see, very compact, and they do make these for inside the house, but again, we wanted it save space. We mounted it on the outside of the house. So this is an outside rated tankless water heater from A.O. Smith. It is natural gas fed, fires on demand when you need hot water, and the big thing about this, constant hot water. Let's open up the unit, see what it looks like inside. You can see nice, pretty, shiny. There is a heat exchanger. It's a natural gas heat exchanger, and what that is, the natural gas is fed through there. There's a burner system just like in your natural gas heater in your house, and that natural gas burner system lights up, and there's water going through a coil, and that natural gas fire flame heats up that water very, very, very quickly, and it is a continuous water heating source. In other words, as long as you demand hot water, it gives you hot water. Again, it's all electronic controlled. It senses a pressure drop and flow on the system, and that's when it fires. So when someone demands hot water like this, it will come on. That's it. So it's fired up. I don't know if you can hear the blower running, but it's fired up. The gas is going, and it is heating continuously that hot water, and it will heat that hot water so hot, exactly what you set it for, until you don't need it anymore. We can see here the control board. This right here is the blower assembly. We get up in here, we have got the burner assembly with the igniter and flame sensor. Then in the heat exchanger up here, and of course the exhaust, the water flows through, gets heated by the flames. We can see the cold water comes in here, hot water comes out. This is the natural gas feed, and to set everything, there's a couple options. Again, for our outdoor unit, we can set these dip switches right here for the desired temperature and function we want. We've also got our indoor remote control, and will allow us to turn it on and off, info, and then heat it up, or turn the temperature up and down. Very, very simple. I still have to get this installed inside, but right now it is being controlled from the dip switches. So this thing is functioning wonderfully. We are at the kitchen sink, and we have got a temperature sensor, and we're going to turn on our kitchen water, and first we'll start with cold water, see what our cold water temperature reads. Turn it on hot, see how quickly it gets to hot, and then we'll see how hot it gets. Let's see if I can actually take it on my hand if it gets that hot. So turn cold water on. Cold water says 63 degrees, 63 degrees, 62 degrees. Now let's turn it over to hot. And whoa, 97, that thing kicks on 100, 102, 103. Woo, okay, it's coming, 103. This is a mixing valve, and the mixing valve sometimes puts a little bit of cold water mixed in with it. We've got this set to, I think, 130 degrees. That's getting very, very hot now. Woo, 108, 109, 109, 110. Ow, it's burning my hands every time I do this. 110, 100, woo, my goodness. All right, 110 is about as hot as I can take it on my hand. Again, we've got it set for about 130 straight hot water, so it is mixing just a little bit with it. Being an outside unit, it is rated to be out here. It has internal freeze protection inside the unit, but the water lines going to and from it are not freeze protected. You can see we ran the PEX Pro piping system here. And one thing to note about PEX Pro, You do not want to let it get a UV light. Like out here in the sun, you can't be sitting out here very long in UV light. It will degrade the PEX pipe. And what it actually does, it leaches out the chemical that makes it chlorine resistant. So the sun itself won't destroy your PEX pipe, your PEX Pro. What it will do is allow chlorine to destroy your piping. So you got to make sure your PEX piping, your PEX Pro piping is not left out in direct sun without, you need some sort of insulation or vapor barrier cover over it to keep it protected from those UV rays, hence the chlorine. Now we're on well water, so we don't have any chlorine in our water, so that's not really an issue, but we're gonna go ahead and get this covered up. What I gotta do is, since this unit is freeze protected internally but not externally, I've got to get a heat tape put on these PEX Pro lines. So we're going to put a heat tape on it today, protect the lines. Then we're going to put some 1/2-inch fiberglass insulation with a vapor barrier on the outside of that. The vapor barrier to keep the moisture out, the insulation to keep the heat in, and keep these pipes from freezing. What I've got here is a heat tape from Frost King. It's a electric 120 volt water pipe heat cable. It's only 3 to 4 foot long, which would be perfect for our application. And you can see that it's very, very short. And this is the heat sensor here. And it's thermostatically controlled, so it comes on and off by itself. I think around 40-45 degrees it will come on and then kick back off. There's a on temp and off temp, but it has a lighted plug, so it lets you know that you've got power available to it. You want to make sure that you do install it on a GFCI, ground fault circuit interrupter or current interrupter receptacle outside, water rated, because this is outside. So what I'm going to do is install it along the PEX pipe, around the valves and over to the wall, and then plug it in the receptacle. So we'll run the heat tape along the interior portion. I'm going to start by taping it, just using vinyl tape. Vinyl tape is very heat resistant, so it will not melt. This electrical tape, black vinyl tape, however you want to say it. And we're going to get this run all along the interior here, making sure we get it all along these brass pipes, all the way to the side, and plug it in. So let's go ahead and do that. Now that we've got our heat tape fastened to our piping, we're going to install this Frost King 1/2-inch pipe wrap insulation. It's got an R value of 1.6. With this heat tape, you don't want to use anything more than a 1/2 inch on your insulation, on your fiberglass insulation. Anything more can cause the heat tape to get too much current going through it and overload. So you don't want to overload your heat tape, get it too hot. So pull this out. Now we're going to start wrapping around the pipes, securing it with a little bit of vinyl tape, and then we'll put the vapor barrier on. I did a 1/2 lap, single wrap with the fiberglass insulation. I mean, one time around, 1/2 overlapping as I went up. I did the main body of the piping. Now I'm gonna do the valve, all the access points of the valves with another piece, because I can take it off for my maintenance. Of course, I can replace all of it if I need to inspect the heat tape every so often. Your heat tape's only going to last you 3 to 5 years, so just know you'll be inside getting to that. So let's go ahead and get the valve covers and everything wrapped up, and then we'll start with the vapor barrier. I do want to give a reminder, this is the relief valve. I do not want to cover up the relief valve, because if this thing overpressurizes, this is how it's going to protect itself. So do not cover up the outside portion of your relief valve. Now we're going to install our vapor barrier tape. Again, its sole purpose is to keep the moisture out of our fiberglass insulation, keep it from breaking down due to getting wet. So it keeps the vapor, the moisture barrier out, and keeps the heat and insulation protected. So let's go ahead and get this installed. Vapor barrier is all nice and sealed over our 1/2 inch fiberglass insulation. Now it's time to plug in the heat tape, make sure it powers up. I'm gonna get it in our GFCI receptacle here. It's got a weatherproof cover over it. All right, it lights up. Go ahead and get this cover secured properly. There we go. So now we have got heat tape, heat freeze protection on our water piping going into our water heater. Other types of freeze protection you need for your water system is your foundation vents. If you're not on a slab foundation, if you're on a conventional foundation, your foundation vents need to be closed in the wintertime. Summertime, we open it up to increase ventilation, to keep the moisture down under your house. Because what happens is if the pipes under your house freeze, it's a bad day as well. So we have got to get under our house, see what the pipes look like. The contractor that installed the piping under there didn't quite insulate all the pipes. I've had to go through there and put a little more foam. We've got a bunch more foam to put on, so let's go check that out. Before we crawl under the house and finish insulating our water piping, I want to talk heating and ventilation. This thing is huge, isn't it? Well, this is what's called a package unit. We didn't want anything as far as utilities inside the home. We wanted to use every little inch of heated living space, and to do that we wanted the condenser coil outside, the A coil and the air handler and the furnace all outside as well. Normally your A coil, your furnace and your air handler are all inside, condenser coil outside. Well, this package unit is all of that in one. So we've got air returns on the inside, ducting that comes back, conditions the air and pushes it back into all the ducts. So this is what's called a package unit. It's all out here. So all of our utilities here on the back side of the log home. So the other three sides are just beautiful country scenery log home views. That's what we wanted. So all the utilities back here, mostly here on the back right corner. We've got our natural gas line, we've got our water heater, we've got antennas, we've got package unit. So HVAC all outside. You can see a couple more lines here on the exterior wall going all the way up, and they got nothing, no insulation on the elbow or all the way going up into the bathroom here on this exterior wall. So we got to get some insulation up there. It was really easy for them to run it along these horizontal runs. They just didn't want to take the time to do it on the elbows and the T's and up on these in these floor joists here. So let's go ahead and slide this up, get it all the way up in there, and that will get it up around that pipe, around that exterior wall, and then I can tape and foam up the rest of that. So get those elbows foamed up and we will be good to go. There's lots of these places where they just left so much opened up, and I just want to get a little R value added to it. Just make you feel so much better knowing you got it covered up like that. So just make you feel better knowing. And I could probably get a little bit better material over this, but I think we're going to be good. We've got one big long section right here. Goodness gracious, about 3 foot long. They didn't put any on at all because it went around this duct here. But I'm gonna go ahead and put it on. Let's see how long it needs to be. Oh my gosh, almost this entire piece here. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut that to the proper length. Put this on here, and then we'll be able to get that around. There we go. Get up closer here. There we go, let's slide it down. Slide it down. Oh, perfect. All right. There we go. So a big elbow like this is the main feed coming into the house, and they just left it completely off. So I'm gonna slide this down, get that over there, and I can put this elbow on here. Gonna pull off the sticky tape, get it up and over there, get it in there, put sticks on there appropriately, and then you've got a perfect seal. Down a little bit, it goes all the way around. this pipe. So I can fix this. All right, we've got all of our pipes insulated all the way around the exterior walls, going up into all the elbows on. So I can't believe they didn't do a better job, but we got it taken care of. Hope you enjoyed watching us winterize our tankless water heater by A.O. Smith. Again, it's a outdoor unit mounted on the outside of the house with our package unit HVAC on the outside of the house, utilizing all interior living space, getting under there, insulating our pipes, making sure the outside PEX pipes are covered and protected from those pesky UV rays. Had a little fun in addition to that as well. Hope you enjoyed that. Saw how good that water heater heats up and how quickly it heats up. Gotta love that. So guys, if you liked today's video, smash that thumbs up if you would. If you haven't subscribed to RidgeLife, take time to do so now. I'd sure appreciate it. Hit the notification bell to be notified anytime a new video comes out. And as always, I hope everyone has a blessed day, and go RidgeLife. I saw my problems and I see the light. We got a loving thing, we gotta feed it right. There ain't no danger, we can't go too far. We start believing now that we can be who we are. Grease is the word, woo-woo. They think our love is just a growing pain. Why don't they understand it's just a crying shame? Their lips are lying, only real is real. We stop the fight right now. We got to be what we feel. Grease is the word. It's got groove, it's got meaning. Grease is the time, is the place, is the motion. Grease is the way we are feeling.